everyone, welcome to the Gamers Den. I'm your host David Fenter and we are continuing our E3 conference discussion. We are now moving on to the Ubisoft conference. They had pretty good conference, guys, in terms of the opening at least, Far Cry 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Far Cry 4 was leaked a couple of weeks before the time and it was very controversial, overly controversial at that, but we got to see sort of the introduction into the game.
Jared
thought it was pretty funny, but I don't know, getting stabbed in the neck like 6 odd times.
It's either that or the selfie he was laughing at.
Yeah, I don't know. How can you take your villain role that seriously? I remember you. Look at your eyes. Let's take a selfie together. It's
blood splatter.
Look, no. Honestly, they went for that maniac villain role and they did it really well. And at a stage, your partner had that bag over his head. And, oh, he's your +1. That's very nice. They focus very much on the villain, and we haven't seen gameplay, we haven't seen anything, but it's more than just one controversial screenshot. So it's something, and yeah.
But I found it's got a very similar feel to Voss and Far Cry 3. It's got that same feel about
crazy over the top, rememberable.
Very strong character.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. That's I think what they achieved.
No, I mean, a spoiler alert for Far Cry 3, but I do hope that he makes it all the way through to the end this time around. Okay, Jared, you can't do that.
Thank you guys for spoiling it.
Wow, I'm not even gonna bleep that. They actually swore on camera. It's a rare occasion.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the Far Cry games ever before, so I didn't really know too much of what was going on. It looked cool, but I'll have to play Far Cry 3 at some stage to see what it's like. I really have it. I bought it near launch, but it's one of those games.
No, really though, if you play the original Far Cry and Far Cry 2. Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4 are very different to the first two.
It's a Far Cry from the first two.
I tried so.
Please censor that out.
I tried not to say that.
No, it's fake on its
I tried not to.
We leave it right
Look,
there.
Far Cry 2 had Afrikaans and that was amazing.
It was amazing.
No, it wasn't.
Up to you heard the word. You do.
No, exactly. You can only go that far. But no, honestly, Far Cry 4 is very, from what we've seen, similar to Far Cry 3, as far as villains go, and that's kind of what we expected, what we wanted, and that's what we got. So,
I mean, from there, the show kind of became this sort of roller coaster. It was a decent game, and then what is going on game, and then another decent game. I mean, next up was Just Dance 2015.
Yeah, it's gonna be a short segment.
Yes. Well, okay, next game.
Moving right along. God's a big fan.
No, well, you know,
He's got some choice videos.
I'll do some
collection.
skinny little review videos for you guys a little later.
That's a
But
promise.
look, it's you can't blame them for showing that their market share.
Just before you guys watch God's dancing video at some stage, make sure you don't eat before.
Yeah, or after.
So
Ever again in your life, just end it right there. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Just die. 2015.
Just die. 2015.
But it does sell a lot of copies for them. It's a big
No.
seller.
Look, I mean, it's sort of on the Wii, and now they just moved it across to all the various platforms. And they brought out the whole mobile attachment, and I think it's a very clever move on their behalf. Who does not have a mobile phone? It's clever.
Brilliant. Let's move on.
It's great. I want to go to a Lady Gaga concert and dance at 20,000.
Then we went on to The Division. Now, David, I know you're a massive fan of The
It's
Division.
about the tactics. Yeah. Big fan. I
Did it
think
good for you?
you know what? It was very similar to the gameplay they showed last year. So that wow factor was kind of already, I've already seen it, so I wasn't as impressed. But I think it's looking great. I know it's not for everyone. I know, and you know, like Jared, like you were saying earlier, like it feels so rehearsed. Kind of takes away from that, you know, from the gameplay a bit. You know, when it feels that like canned.
Yeah, it might very well be though, but this, and I agree completely. I couldn't agree more. But the video footage they showed at that specific conference was dark and sad, and something
the intro was very dark.
It sort of played with your emotions a little, and it took you away from the generic sort of, oh, this is multiplayer, oh, this is tactics, oh, this is... They have a little personal sort of, you know, maybe, yeah, what else does the game have as far as the story
It wasn't
goes?
just about shooting guns.
Look, it is Tom Clancy. Tom Clancy always has been a good writer, so yeah, maybe.
You mean he always was?
Yeah. Let's cash in on his.
Clancy, we've got his rights.
After that, we had another sort of a dip with the crew.
Tom Clancy's shape up.
Well, we had a dip with the crew, and it wasn't that great. I think last year's trailer was a lot sort of...
Okay, no, well, what
I like the scale. That's all they showed.
That's great. That's amazing.
Right,
What else did we see?
Nothing. And
It was
you know,
also a
we really
horrible
get
song
much.
to watch the video too.
It's
It
absolutely
didn't work
terrible.
for me at all. I was watching this and I was like,
That's great. The scale is fantastic, and they touched on the whole pre-crew thing that all the little areas are doing, and they're doing great, and Copenhagen is doing great, and that's amazing. Wow, we saw more of the game last year.
and the cars right, but it's like all car games.
Yeah, and then they just showed.
No,
too much
well,
content.
that's
It
the
was just
thing.
bad.
Last year's footage sort of differentiated a little bit. You know,
I thought the crew had lots of delays, didn't it? Wasn't it originally supposed to be a next gen
It's
release?
supposed to be like a launch
Yeah,
one.
And then
the
moved to
crew and
sometime
Drive Club is
early
pretty much
this
one
year.
and the same these days.
Yeah, I think they're going to release around the same time as Bayonetta 2, so
Which is what, about 20 years.
yeah, maybe.
And then it moved back onto, what was it? Assassin's Creed Unity. A great game. I think it's the first time in a while Assassin's Creed looks like it's moving forward. The combat still looks very generic, like the old one.
The
But
AI
it looks smoother.
looks pretty
Yeah.
slow, but that four-player co-op twist on the whole gameplay thing, I think it's interesting. I like it.
Pros, cons.
I think it's moving in the right direction. I think I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching that gameplay footage, I was like, I've played this game before. I've played
Okay,
it
no,
more than
so,
once
so if
before.
I want to sit at home and play by myself, then I'm forced
Whoa,
to have...
whoa.
By yourself. Okay, moving on to the next set.
Let's talk about me playing with
Okay.
myself.
What's
Let's have
Okay.
insight into God selling.
Guys, a little bit...
Garth, when you play by yourself, it's possibly the next game that you would be looking at, Shape Up.
Honestly,
Yeah.
when I play with myself, I want to shape up.
Yeah,
That is
push-ups.
that is what I want to do. And if I'm not playing with myself, I want to challenge someone at push-ups. That is my idea of a good party. Do we really have to focus more on that?
I think we should move
Yeah.
right along from shape up because it looks like.
Let's go.
It's not going to shape up.
Next.
It's not going to
What
shape
is
up to
next?
anything.
From something fun
Well,
and enjoyable.
Look, but then they did Valiant Hearts, which is that sort of indie feel to it, the World War One side-scroller shooter thingy.
Look, there wasn't
Pretty good.
much shown about the game itself. The art style was amazing, and the trailer was all storyline, and it was sad. It was not. I enjoyed it. I thought it was not. But as far as the game itself goes, we don't.
Yeah.
For some reason, I sort of lost attention while that trailer's coming on. I'm not sure why. I'm still watching it again.
No, it was a highlight for me, but also
They
I
brought that
want to
sort
know.
of-
I want to know more.
They brought that French artistic flair feel to it, you know, that French touch.
The Ubisoft.
I do think I remember hearing that it's the same art studio that did Rayman.
100%.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what you
And
see.
Child of Light as well.
Yeah.
So
And that's when they dropped the bomb, which for me personally meant very little, but I know David, you were super excited
Very, very
about Rainbow
excited.
Six Siege.
Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah, I'm very excited. Like, I don't know if you guys are fans of the series.
I played one of the Rainbow Six games.
Back in the day.
Back in the day, they dropped you off in like an old town.
Yeah,
And you go through there and I played for about 10 minutes and I was so bored.
you're like, I'm done. And 10 years
So,
of price since then.
is Rainbow Six the name of, like, what is it, Prince of Persia Rainbow Six?
You know what? I'm so happy Prince of Persia wasn't announced and it was a Rainbow Six game. And I'll tell you why. Because originally it was going to be Rainbow Six Patriots, you know, the game that got cancelled, and they went in a new direction, which was this direction, this little Siege. And for the better, I think. They've gone back to the roots of what made the original
Trying
Rainbow
to
Six
kill
games.
your hostage.
Trying not to kill the host. That's why you didn't play them. That's why you couldn't play them. God.
But the problem for me with that video again was that rehearsed gameplay. The rehearsed
Yeah.
multiplayer,
And that can.
multiplayer stuff, it sounded
And it's
people don't actually play games like that, and
it's a terrible reflection. It's not a good way to show off gameplay.
and it made me question the whole thing. Is, you know, how much of what's actually happening in the gameplay, never mind they're talking, is is also rehearsed.
Yeah.
You know, they know what's coming next because
Yeah.
No, sorry, I'm laughing because I know what Jared's gonna say next.
What is he gonna say? Does he have a gift? Can you see into the future?
We start off with 4 versus 4. We've got 4 criminals. We've got 4. What was it? Rogues and ravens? I don't recall, but yeah, 4, and then all of a sudden it's 4 versus 3. And why is it 4 versus 3? Because we hear someone say,
I'm dying, I'm dead.
"No, not I'm dying. I'm
I'm
dead.
dead.
I'm dead."
Who
Oh,
shoots at
my
us?
goodness, guys! You won't believe this.
I'm doing a big carry
I'm dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Even randomly at the end of the video, they're about to escape and goes, I'm dead!
It felt very, very good.
Look, it's very early on, and
And you mentioned the theory that you've got about the game.
Yeah, like I
That's
actually,
interesting to share.
I don't believe there was gameplay. I honestly think there was one of those CG trailers made to look like gameplay.
So the Watch Dogs scenario.
Very much Watch Dogs vibe. I don't think the final product's gonna look quite like that. So yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was gameplay, but I do believe that was CG. To be honest, or like most.
But you were still impressed with it.
Love it. If it looks 90%, 85% like that, day one.
and if it plays 10% like that.
Well, day 2 maybe
Day
second.
two. Second, alright.
I'll
I'll wait a week.
That's all
I'll
about the
wait a week for
looks.
reviews.
That's fine.
Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining us once again. That's the end of the Ubisoft conference. Next week we'll be looking at Sony, and that was a big one. Be sure to join us then. Bye.
Cheers, guys.